We've done it. We've done it. Yes. So I was telling them, I said, I had to actually go look at the leases to figure out the dates. And then I had to go back and look at Adele's and your starting date of when you paid me the first month's rent, because I couldn't remember. We signed the lease in April of 2012, but we didn't open up building 3 until October 2012. Yeah, I was like, what happened? What happened? All right.
If you could put,
I got you.
excuse me.
You mic'd up? Yep, you're mic'd up. I don't know if it's on or not because I don't have my glasses on.
Yes, they
Is
are,
that yours?
they are on.
That's your on. Let's see.
We're all on.
We're on.
We're on. What is Linda having that cup right there? That's a
Coffee, tea,
Yes.
tea, rum.
Yes.
You can start anytime you want and we can just crop it, do whatever we want to with it.
Teacher is she.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do here. Let's make it.
You share a mic over here?
Yep, all right. We'll put it
So
in the middle.
it picks up pretty good. So the mics for here
Mhm.
are for the room, so they can hear.
Oh, okay, okay. But this is what's gonna
These
really
mics
pick up.
are for the recording.
Okay. And we're gonna test those.
No, we're good.
We're good.
I think this is a low
Think we're
budget
good?
bubblegum operation. Well, it is.
With duct tape and zip ties, baby.
You've seen this operation.
Duct tape and zip ties is how we hold this all together.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the Mic with Mike. It is the premier business radio program in the area. I'm your host, Mike King. Appreciate you being here with us. We're coming to you from the Hilton Hotel, fabulous Hilton downtown. We'd like to thank good friends here, John and Dasha and the team for hosting us. We're here on Wednesday from 5 to 7. On the Mic with Mike is the premier business radio program as part of the Mike Business Radio Network, which is ESPN Richmond 106.1, the Choice 105.3, as well as International Business Code Radio. We believe that business can help society better. That's what we do. And people at Rockford believe it as well. I'd like to thank our show sponsors who are out there. You see some of them behind me. Jenni Kirby's with us. We got Dr. Danny from the Women's Business Resource Center in the house. Well, Lisa Trani is here as well. We'd like to thank our other sponsors, Tom Truby, the Credit Card Guy, Andy Taylor, Trump Plugger, Rob White, Fast Signs, and all of the folks who have shows with us. Coming to us right now, this is an honor. So we have the first person who in Richmond who believed in me. She knew me before I was Mike King Biz. I was just Mike King. I was on her door saying, hey, want to buy something? So it is Jenni Kirby of the world famous Crossroads Art Center. Now, typically, it's just me and her, and she brings some people, but today, she brought the legendary man with her, who was there at the beginning. So Jenni, as always say, this is a business show. Let's get it who you are and what you do. That's the elevator pitch.
Okay, Jenni Kirby, Crossroads Art Center.
Okay, come on,
We are celebrating our 20th year, believe it or not, in business. And we are on the corner of Broad Street and Staples Mill. I think I might have said that, behind Krispy Kreme Donuts. And this Friday, we have our big art opening from 6 until 9. And a lot of the artists, the proceeds are going to go to Fox Elementary PTA, which are for the kids and for the teachers to help them get back their supplies that they lost in the big fire.
You always got your ear to the ground with the coolest things going on in town. How'd you find that?
Well, I know them. I know them well. I know them well. I live in the fan, so I know them well.
All right, so in here, you were here talking about 20 years. Let's go back 20 years. And who's the gentleman?
And the gentleman beside me is James Bashfield. And he and I literally started it 20 years ago on March 21st, 2002. We signed the lease and we opened May 1st because I have a really good ex-boyfriend that is a general contractor that I called and I said, Garrick, baby, can you help me with this? And he did. He pulled it off. So say hello to the crowd, James.
My name is James Bashfield.
A little closer.
Closer?
Yeah.
James Bashfield, and I'm the other half of the team. Going back 20 years ago, it doesn't seem like that long, but we started Crossroads with about 15 people, I think, when we first started. I got to tell the story, how we got started.
Okay, well, this is what we do here.
Okay.
You tell stories. We didn't think you were just coming here because you looked.
No, okay.
Here we go.
After a place named Shockoe Bottom closed down, we were looking for a spot to open an art center. And about 15 of us got together and we decided that we found a building and we wanted to open an art center at 2015 Stables Mill Road.
Can I ask you a question? Did that seem like the end of the earth coming from Shockoe Bottom that you guys had the nerve to open up way out there?
Well, good question. In fact, when we went to see the owners of the building to try to get a lease on it, they asked us the same question. So
They ain't gonna last long.
no, they sort of laughed. They said, "You want to open what? Tell us again." We were all sitting in their conference room, all 18 of us, 15 of us. And he said, "We've never had anything like this happen before." Of course, out there in Henrico, where we were, there was not an art center out there. They were all downtown Richmond for some reason. They were on Broad Street, all down here, but not out there. It's not that we didn't try to get Richmond, but we couldn't deal with the parking. Anyway, sitting there in that conference room, Mr. Jenkins, who's gone, by the way, when he asked us, he said, "Look, I'd like to see a business plan, first of all." And he said, I want to tell you guys that normally I do 5 to 10 year leases. We didn't want to go that long because so he said, but I will give you guys a 2-year lease, but I'll have a clause that you can get out of it in 1 year. So he was a nice guy. But then he said, in order to do that, I need personal guarantees from all of you. And you wouldn't believe, you could hear a pin drop in the room. People looked at each other. I said, "Oh boy, there's trouble now." So we ended the meeting. As soon as we went outside, we had so many people come to us and say, "Hey, I don't want to do this to my family. I can't commit to that. That's a big commitment." Anyway, so after that, we had 2 people left. It was Jenny and I.
So wait a second.
The only 2
left.
people left
No,
standing.
Just Jenny and I.
17 people sitting at the table. This was a great idea.
Yeah. Oh.
When they dropped that line on you that we need personal guarantees, there were 2 left standing.
Right.
You 2.
Right. And I didn't really know Jenny that well because I asked Jenny, "Do you want to go in business with me?" You know, because we both taking a big risk here. She needed to go home and talk to her family. I understand that. I really do. So
And I said, "Why don't we go get a beer and talk about it?"
That is the way to do it.
but that was a wonderful story, and you know, the rest is history. But the point is, other folks just sort of went away quietly. Okay, and Jenny and I was holding the bag, and we decided to go ahead and do it.
There you go. On the microphone. 1 second, Jenny, can you pull the microphone off? And that way it'll be easier if you guys hold.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
That's much easier.
There you go.
So the other thing to add to that story, lost my train of thought for a second, was that we went out and had a beer and talked about it. And I said, "Yeah, let me just go and let me go talk to my family about it." And actually Dr. Wally, I've asked Dr. Wally if everybody remembers him from years ago. He was a professor down at VCU. He and his wife Sigrid lived below me in a condo. And so I literally walked in the door and knocked on Dr. Wally's door, Sigrid's, and I said, "I need to talk to you. And is there wine in this house?"
Because this is what we do.
Because James and I had literally done the business plan. We had done the space planning. We had done all of that together and knew that it would work. And so I said, "Let me present this to you as I'm going to have to present it, you know, to the owners of the building." And he's like, "I'm going to be a hard ass on you." And I'm like, "Go ahead." And I presented it to Dr. Wally, and he's like, "No, this is sound. Looking at all of this, your numbers look good." He was trying to poke holes in everything and could not do it. So that was the start. And then there was the destruction that came next.
Right. And I guess we did not know how much work the building really needed. okay?
Yeah.
Because he gave it to us as sort of like as is kind of deal. And it was a carpet store prior to us moving in. And prior to that, it was a grocery store. There's so many electrical outlets, so many things that needed to be repaired and pulled out, you know. And my background, I am an electrical engineer. So that helped a little bit.
So that's my friend, Dr. Jenni. She's an
Okay.
engineer, so that's why
Okay,
she-
so
That's why she got excited.
it helped. But it's sort of funny that I haven't used that because when I left college, I went to work for IBM for 30 years. So I didn't get a chance to use my electrical work at all. So not at all. But I still remember a lot.
But
So-
he did there.
At Crossroads.
He and his brother both.
Let me ask you this. When did you guys know that you had something?
6 months.
Well, 6 months. Yeah, 6 months. But because the point is, we had so many people tell us. I still remember one. I'm gonna call this company's name, Star Weekly, who came to see us, and they said, "You guys are joking. This is not an art center. It's nothing but a big store." And they'll forget that.
This isn't a gallery.
And yeah, this is in the gallery. And I think didn't they go out of business or something?
Yeah, what, yeah, they put a plug.
We outlasted style.
Right,
who
Star
said no.
Weekly.
We weren't a business.
We're not a
We weren't
business.
a
That's sort of
gallery.
funny.
Yeah.
That is real funny.
All right, so one of Mike here with the good folks from Crossroads Art Center. Sir, I know you from your work, and the piece you did, the boxing piece recently, that was different. And you know, some of the things, the detail, when you see you sitting ringside, I looked at that and said, that's nice. So who was sitting, all right, so it's a boxing match. Who's boxing?
Hey,
So Muhammad Ali is boxing. And who are the people ringside?
well,
Let me get the mic closer to everybody.
Bill Clinton,
Bill Clinton is okay. Muhammad
uh,
Ali's boxing and Bill Clinton is ringside. Is it Howard
Ringside.
Cosell?
Howard
House of
Cosell.
Purcell, Bill Clinton, George Bush,
Yep.
Barack Obama was there.
Oh, what's the guy, the king with the hair?
Oh,
Don
King.
King was there.
King.
as well.
He's there.
Rocky
Stallone.
Stallone was there.
What's the inspiration to when you looked at that picture? How long did it paint? How long did it take?
That was probably done over a year, pieces of it, okay? Because I needed the right positions of the characters that I was gonna put in the painting. So it took a while.
And as a creative person, when it's done, or do you go back and keep tinkering with it?
Sometimes, but normally when it's done, it's done.
And you move on to the next project, or do you work on multiple things at once?
Multiple things at once. If you can see my studio, it's probably about 4 or 5, more than that, working on it at the same time.
All right, on the mic with Mike, we're here to help you. We'd like to thank the folks here for hosting us. This is the 20-year anniversary for Crossroads Arts. I've met some really cool people there. We got some folks in the audience here. We got the Mad Painter is in the house.
Yes, we do. Mike, the Mad
Mike
Painter.
is in the house. He took me on a tour back where they don't let the civilians go.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, not the lay people. They don't let us go back there, and he showed me like where the magic happens.
Right.
So we have him, and we got the teacher in the house as well.
Yes, Miss Linda, who actually has a show that opens Friday as well at the Art Center.
Oh, really?
Yes, Linda's part of the show, and David Tanner.
So Linda Linda, remember when we were at the station, we were trying on sunglasses? Of course, yes. So that was down in Chester. That was fun. So that was when we were down in Chester. Well, thank you. That's what we're trying to do. We ain't serious here. We're just talking about business, life, and everything in between. So Jenni, you have something big coming up this week. Let's talk about it.
Yes, so Friday in 2 days, from 6 to 9, we have our 20th anniversary celebration that's coming up. We have the Flying Seltzers will be outside, Brian and his wife and guitarist, they'll be there. And then we have the Robin and another guitarist inside. We, of course, have talked about Fox Elementary. We're going to have a fundraiser for them. They just dropped off all the beer and the wine. And dear
Uh-oh.
God, if we drink all this beer and wine that they dropped off, it's either going to be a really big crowd or we're going to be schlossed. There is no doubt about it. There's enough beer and wine.
For a good cause.
It's for a good cause, a very good cause. And then we have Linda Hollop-Bazuzzi, as I was saying, her show, David Tanner's show. And David Tanner's show is about 50% already sold, pre-sold out, which is crazy. So we've got that going on. I have ordered in and received a huge fox on paper that the kids will be able to paint and draw and color in, and they'll be able to take that back to the school. I have chalk paint for the kids to be able to play with. And just, you know, it's family friendly and it'll be a lot of fun.
It's always family friendly with Jenni Kirby is here, Crossroads Art Center. You really, Crossroads Art Center is really a community fit place. It's, so you guys have had everything there. What do you have, funerals there?
We have had funerals. We have had weddings. We have had funerals. We have had baby showers, bar mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs. I mean,
with me too. So we've had an Autism Century Night. We've had the Black Business Expo, which was something.
Black Friday on Black Friday.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yep.
We had remember when we got in trouble at WNTW?
Oh,
for having
Lord.
that conversation
Yes,
when the man called up and asked us what were black dollars.
yes.
Black
What are black dollars?
dollars.
So
The
the
room got
the
quiet.
room got really quiet because we were talking about how having, you know, black folks buy from black folks and white folks buy from black folks. I mean, it's like, come on, can we just not all do this together and make this work? Yes,
And
it was
the man
crazy.
Called and said, "Excuse me, can you explain?" And I'm like, "Sir, I am glad you called." And when it was over, he said, "You know, I understand." So you really cater to the community.
We just had to do a little splaining.
We did have some explaining to do with that, but we survived. So one of Mike said, Jenni, explain what Crossroads Art means to the community.
So when Crossroads started, there was really not a place for artists that were not the upper high echelon to show and sell their work. Chaco Bonham existed, and that was more of creating and displaying, but not really selling. So when we opened, which was the first building in May, and we opened with, I think, about 15, 20 artists. And by the time we closed that up, let's see, we opened the second building in the fall of 2006. So 2006, we had a waiting list of 100 artists that wanted to show with us.
So how do you determine who's able to show?
We actually have a jurying process where everybody brings in the 5 pieces of their artwork. We have specific jurors for different types of mediums like watercolors, acrylics, pottery, ceramics, mosaics, all of that. And we call in that specialty person to actually do the jurying for that show or that piece.
All right.
And they are either in or out, but they get great feedback if they're out or in.
So if I'm out, am I out for a while, or can I work on my craft? And
You can
circle
work
back?
on your craft and circle back in a year.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can reapply in a year and we don't make you pay the jury fee again. You can reapply again. And hopefully you've learned from what we've been, what we've told you, and we can then let you in. But we've actually turned some people down like 4 times. God
You got
love
the
them,
message.
they still keep trying.
Get the message.
Well, let them in. I mean, come on now. If
No,
they're not-
no.
If you call any more, they might have to, get a restraining order.
I know, I feel bad. I feel bad, but they do progress, which is good. And it's actually amazing. Some of the people that are still with us started with us 20 years ago, and to watch their progression and their talent and where they've taken their art is pretty incredible. It really is.
One of my advice, Mr. Kenny Bashfield and Steve Jenni Kirby as well. So you guys really, I guess, build careers. People come to Crossroads and they come as young pups and they stay. Oh, we got to do a shout out to Savannah.
Oh, yes, Miss Savannah.
Savannah, she became a mom, and it's really cool. When, when you see young people out there doing their thing. And she told me about hustle and getting stuff done. is legendary. She said, when you look up hustle, you see her. And if you look at her, she doesn't look like, she has a killer instinct. But she said, hey, if the professors know what they're talking about, why wouldn't I listen? And she said, Jenni Sherman taught me this business through and through. So let's talk about when people come on board, what they turn into, and how you guys have really made it a family.
Yeah, we really have made it a family. We have seen a lot of them pass away in recent years, which is very sad because it's like your grandparents or your
Yeah,
aunts
they've
and
gone,
uncles that pass away. So it is heartfelt, that is for sure. And we bicker and fuss and like we're family as well at times. That is for darn sure. Yes, it is for sure. But it's a true family, and we're all there to help each other, from a personal standpoint, and then also from a business standpoint, succeed and get through life.
So when a lot of times when we look at business, the arts business is a different kind of business. So when you sit down with the business plan to regular business people, and you guys are talking this artsy stuff, their heads might have been kind of spinning. Because people who are not creative don't get you guys.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. Talking to a business person about art, and sometimes you sort of lose something there, but yet and still, the business plan we had and the one that we showed Mr. Bates and Mr. Jenkins, they were impressed. In fact, it was tough because we were able to show them that we could make money, because obviously you don't go into business for nothing. You obviously got to make some money off this deal. So we had an ironclad business plan, but we needed a certain number of people to make it work. The bottom line.
Oh, really quick, I just had a thought. What happened to the 15 people who said they wasn't there? When they looked up and saw that they missed out on a good thing, were they a little salty?
Well, in a way they were, but guess what?
You let them in.
They all came to rent from us. Okay, so
So now before they could have been
right,
owners,
owners
now they are coming to you
to rent a space.
to rent the space because
Right.
they knew that you had something good.
Right, because standing on the sidelines, they saw that we had this thing was going to be big. And if you look around, a lot of art centers, a lot of art galleries have closed in the last 20 years. But and what is Crossroads has done, we've gotten bigger. And we've gotten more notoriety.
You have that more. When everybody comes there, first of all, nobody can find them. Everybody's like, where is this place? And when they walk in, they all say the same thing. Wow. This place is, and they're just walking around looking like this. And they don't know where to go. Because there's something there for everybody. And it's the energy, people bringing in things. Really quickly, so for folks who are not in the art world, you let people take things on a test drive. Explain to people what a test drive is.
Well, a test drive is you can take out a piece of art, a painting, a sculpture, a piece of art for
48 hours.
48 hours. But it wasn't 48 hours when we first started. People would come in and wanted to take a painting out, and some would take it for a weekend. And we said, wait a minute, they're taking about 4 or 5 pieces for the weekend and they bring it back on Monday morning. So we want to know what was going on here. People were decorating their homes for an event for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, this has to stop. And we had to put
You learned that the hard way.
right, we learned the hard way.
You learned.
So, but the point is, they have to either bring it back or either we'll charge their credit card,
When people take it, when they take the artwork home, do they keep it most of the time?
95%.
Right.
I would think they do. They knew that they liked it. They just needed to get it home.
Because, and one thing we said that it really doesn't take a whole weekend to decide whether you need it, whether you like it or not. As soon as you take it home and put it in that room, you're gonna say yes or no immediately, almost.
So on the mic with Mike, we're here at Hilton. I would like to thank the good folks from the Hilton for having us every Wednesday. This is Mike English Radio Show, and we come to you from ESPN Richmond 106.1 every day from 5 to 7 a.m. It's where business and culture collide. It's where people believe that business can help society be better. That's what we do, and that's what we talk about. Sir, you are an engineer, and people kind of think engineers think a certain way. I'm looking at my friend Dr. Danny. Everything has to be all squared away. How are you an artist? Were you an artist before?
Oh, yes,
And so you've always been an artist.
I've always been an artist.
How does that jive with being an engineer where everything needs to be dress right dress? That's for the military folks who are out there.
I think it helps me a lot because I paint in realistic mode because painting abstract is what painting loosely. And for me, that's difficult, and probably because of my engineering background, because, you have to go in sequence. Things are laid out for you. And when you paint, things are not laid out. You're facing a blank canvas most of the time when you start. You have an idea, you have your subject, but most of the time the canvas is blank when you start off.
And on the mic with Mike, we're here with the good folks from Crossroads Art Center. Jenny, I think we're going to take a break. We're going to break, and we're going to change out some people.
All right, we can do it.
We're going to have some folks come in and talk a little bit about what Crossroads Art Center means to them.
Great.
Like I said, I've done a lot there. Jenny has always been super supportive of me and my brand. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what the evolution of it. So when people look at it, they see one big building. You see it as 3 separate stages. When did you guys know it was time to go from stage 1 to stage 2?
When we had that 100
List.
artist waiting list, and the guys next door to us that were the t-shirt guys, they had the other 2 buildings, and their business was not doing as well. Actually, it was during the recession, right at the start of the recession. We actually expanded when they shrunk, and we had to do the business plan for that again, proving why we could afford to do that, because we had the waiting list to be able to do it with the rent. And then
the same owners?
the same owners.
So how did they look into the second around? I bet they looked a little different.
Oh yeah, they were like, okay, you just showed us that plan. We know you can make it work, because I have a business degree. I don't have an arts degree, and I'm about as anal retentive as they come. And those people out here in the audience know that. And I do mosaics, so everything's planned out. So yeah, I'm as bad as he is.
So that's why you guys are massive.
Yep.
So it's not just about, people see creative as kind of slim, whimsical, but there's method to that madness.
Yeah, when you have 2 of us that are so structured in how we tackle our craft or our art form, we take that same structure from a business standpoint.
It's like when you walk in the door, there's somebody there's a greeter.
Yep.
Why is the greeter there? Because people walk in with the look on their face like they don't know what you're doing.
Exactly. They're like, wow, I've heard about this, but I haven't been in. Or now it's, wow, I haven't been in a couple months. What have you guys done? You've moved things around.
Where do I go? Right.
Where do I go? Okay, so you've always talked about people come very early. You get students, interns, and the people grow. Let's talk a little bit about what that means. And when people come to Crossroads, they come and stay, they leave, they come back.
Yeah, so if you're talking my worker bees,
Yes.
my worker bees like Miss Emma, who is over here, who is very young. I don't even know if she was legal drinking age when we hired her. She's like, no, she wasn't. No, I wasn't. And Emma's been with us 3 years, just almost 3 years. And she did have a beer tonight, so she's drinking age now. And then when Savannah came to us, she was about 24, maybe, something like that, 24. And she started with, I had her just really hitting on, how do we do marketing? How do we do selling online? How do we do all of that? I just needed somebody to really hone in and figure it out with me and make it work.
Because she knows social media.
Yes, Savannah knows social media, so that was great. But then Meredith, I got in high school, and she stayed all the way through college and is still now with me after college for a couple of years. So Yeah, somebody was asking her today, I think it was Doug Mock, does she have you chained to the desk and she's just not letting you out? And I'm like, yeah, I got a monitor on her foot. Her ankle. She's not going anywhere.
But still, you know, one of the things from a business standpoint is a lot of times, and I'm learning this the hard way, that business owners, you got to keep your hands on it because if not, this thing goes sideways.
Right, you've got
Bashfield
to.
Art Center continues to operate when Jenni Curry is everywhere under the sun. Where do you go? I mean, Croatia, where are you going? You're going somewhere soon, aren't you?
We are going to Portugal and Spain in June. So I'm taking what was a group of 17 is now down to 9, but that's fine. And we're gonna go have fun in Portugal and Spain and learn about the art there. And of course, I get to go see all the mosaics, and I get to go to the Alhambra again, which is just fabulous, and absolutely love that place. It's probably one of my favorite places in the world. So I'm excited after 30 years to be able to go back.
And Crossroads Art Center continues to run, not missing a beat while you're going.
Correct, because I got a great staff. And then I also am accessible by phone or by text or by whatever they need me to be on the side, which is great. And they ask, they know they can ask, and I'll, give them an answer and figure it out. Or I may say, I have no idea. What do you think we should do? And then we make it work. But the wonderful thing about my staff, and we're mostly all women now. We've had a few men interspersed.
I know. I
Yeah.
noticed that.
And it's giving these girls / women the strength, the ability, as Savannah will say, you gave me my backbone and the ability to tell people to go off when I need to. And she's like, I'm like, yeah, you can. I mean, you've got to stand up. You've got to give it as good back. You can do it politely or not, but you got to stand up for yourself.
Or not.
Yeah, you got to stand up for yourself.
How you get it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, they do.
One of my advice, yes, Richmond, we got to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. All right.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna have.
Yay.
We're gonna.
You had those two come over.
So, Linda, Mike, you guys are gonna switch out and come and talk a little bit.
You need more alcohol? Oh, I gotta take my mic off.
Yes, please, don't take the mic with you.
That's all right.
Go ahead, we got time.
Yeah. Get him liquored up. That's exactly what we need.
That's
exactly what we need. Hey, did you hear my own bleep? Yeah, I gave my own bleep.
I'm gonna introduce you to a friend of mine there. I have to watch them. So, Jenni, remember, Danny was at your place when we did one of the, oh, that's good. Oh, what are you doing standing there? You didn't think you were coming to the show and not coming on.
I did not know I was gonna be doing this, so you're gonna have to coach me. But then if
You
you
said
ask,
that the last time, and next thing you know, here you are shine.
I'm like, give me that microphone.
Exactly, that's been happening.
Give me that damn mouth.
Exactly.
I swear to God, it was everything I could do to keep from yelling out from the audience, like, oh yeah, and don't forget the. Because she didn't tell the story. When they were gonna open that second building.
See, that's the understand. If now me, I'm crazy. I'll just sit there. Look at you right there. I know the teacher never takes a break. You see that?
Stand that.
And I know.
Can't stand that. What's that for? Was that for a reason?
Well, it's kind of late now. It was holding everything together.
I do that, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, you knew it.
Oh, I'm always going over the wrapping table going, what is this tape in here? And I'm pulling it off.
Oh.
That's the
Come
middle of the
on,
table.
Linda, you're gonna have to put this on.
All right, well, do I need to take this off? Hold on. Okay, no bugs on the floor.
Yeah.
She is. The last time we had the military lady there who had the sunglasses on.
Yes,
We were taking pictures
We had a good time.
We did have a good time.
And I got the best photograph of myself ever because I'm taking pictures. I'm just trying to play around. I came the day before, didn't I? To see where it was.
Yes. you
And I'm
did.
taking pictures of me at the microphone. It's still one of the best photos I ever took. I'm like,
And you told me you were
where's
nervous.
mine?
And then all of a sudden, and yet she wasn't. She was not nervous.
But I'm gonna tell a story about how concerned the other artists were about going into building 2. Woe and gloom, woe is us. Yeah. So remind me, the woe is us
The woe
story.
is me
The
story.
woe is us story, yeah.
So, we're not gonna waste, tape on the story because we gotta get it for the actual audio.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Mike
gonna tell you
and
now.
Mike and Kim were so
I'm not gonna
too
tell you
strong.
I'm gonna run out of coffee then. Uh-oh.
Here, I'll share with you.
He does his best
No, thank
work.
you.
Alrighty.
Let's have a stick. Oh, we're just holding it by hand.
Okay, look at this, mic check for you.
Oh, checking. Can you hear me?
You got a little louder. There you go.
Oh, can you hear me now?
You can hear you now.
Oh, my teacher voice. Got it. I'll remember that.
Alrighty.
Hang on, dear.
You got a mic?
Oh. There, I think we're good. Test, test, test.
Wait a
Test,
second.
test, test.
No, Mike, go on the other side. Go on the outside of it. You're hiding the mic.
Oh, okay.
Here, honey, let me.
Oh, thank you, darling.
I need to take my picture.
Maybe. There we go.
There we go. See, that's right. We're going to the prom.
That's right. Damn, this is a clip and a half. There we go. Okay.
You know, we don't.
Now you're off there.
Okay, wait a minute. How's my hair? Good? All right.
Yeah, me too.
No expense.
Right.
Mike saying Bashfield. We're here at the Hilton. So we got the women's speaking sports in the house here. We got Dr. Jenni. I see Steph B, Lisa Tranny. I see them. They're conducting commerce. So they're not listening. So Jenni Kirby is here for the Crossroads Art Center. Mr. James Bashfield. This is 20-year anniversary for Crossroads. We'll check the time here. Oh, right there. Oh, yeah, I gotta check the time. One of Mike, ESPN Richmond, that's where you find us. Richmond's leading business radio program. So we talked to Jenni about Crossroads Art Center. And 2 friends pop up who I've met at different places. We got Mike, I've met over at Dogtown Dance Theater. And so you're a photographer extraordinaire. That's your work.
Yes.
And painter, but painter
Sure.
and painter.
Oh, you're a painter too.
And
Oh,
pick. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You
Oh,
did,
yeah.
you're right. That's right. And you wear
Get it straight, Mark.
the beret. Like last time I saw you, you were rocking a beret.
Could be. Yep. I wear many hats.
And you wear many hats. And so photographer and artist. Always been an artist?
No. I've been a photographer for most of my life, but I didn't start painting until I was like 45 years old.
What was the draw to it?
The story goes, one rainy night in Chicago, bored and nothing else better to do, my girlfriend went and got some craft paints. And all of a sudden,
And a
she's
career was started.
started right there that night, and I haven't stopped painting since.
What's the, so when you get an idea for a painting, does it come to you all at once?
No, I am not like Ms. Kirby and company, because I don't know where it's going. I don't know when it's going to stop. And I just start out of the clear blue and just let it go.
And do you work on multiple projects?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You do.
Yeah, yeah. One day I'm welding something, painting something, or photographing something.
So you were also weren't you the lighting guy over at Dogtown? Were you doing something there? Helping them with the lighting?
The lighting, I was a set builder. Yes.
So Jack of all trades is your picture is there in the dictionary.
Not that good. I mean, they get the backside of my head when they do that.
All right, on the mic with Mike. Mike is here with us. All right, pass the microphone. We're going to talk to the teacher. So on the mic with Mike, we're the best business radio program around, and the teacher next to me, Linda, she is a reluctant media star. She's nervous about the microphone, and next thing you know, she lights up. Welcome back to the program, man. It's been a while.
It has been several years. It was, the last time I was on your show was before COVID.
Yeah, that was 3 radio stations ago for me. Remember, that was the radio station where it was next to the dumpster.
Yes, I
Because
remember.
nobody could find it. And
No.
they would say, where's the station? I'm like, do you see that blue dumpster?
Yeah, and you failed to say the dumpster was in the back.
That is
So everybody
true.
driving up and down the front looking for the
Looking
damn
for a
dumpster.
Yeah.
It was in the back.
Looking for a dumpster, and the dumpster was in the back.
Right.
That was my starting radio. It was very glorious. All right,
It was a
so-
nice studio though,
Well, thank you. It was a nice studio. So you are a teacher
by trade.
by trade. And I see, what you do? You put my tape back there?
I put it back after I took
Jenni
it off,
already knew that you were gonna have a problem with that tape, so we're just gonna.
but I
move
put it back.
Okay. But that tape held the set together.
There is
Well,
no
that-
seam there. He's making that all up.
All right, so, were you?
I still
always
want to
an
know
art-
the story about the tape
Okay,
though.
so, all right,
Anyway,
so
later.
Were you always an
After.
artist?
Yeah, even as a child. And then I eventually went to, took art all during public school, went to art college, got my degree, got my master's degree, taught art for 35 years in elementary school at Elizabeth Holiday Elementary. Went to William Fox, by the way, plug in for William Fox. And when I was at elementary school, and we even had art classes then that was back in, that was a long time ago, never mind how when it was. And, but didn't do much art when I was teaching for quite some time because, that takes up all your time. And I guess about 1994, I got back into making art.
So you have an event that's happening now. What is exactly that you have that's happening?
Okay, so I'm having a special show. Every 2 months we have our opening. There are special shows that go on in the gallery in addition to the regular artists having new displays in their gallery spaces and gallery walls. And so I'm having a show for the next month and a half called Unfinished Business.
Okay.
Pretty ominous, right?
Yes, that is ominous. So that's different than when I see your area. That's different work that's in there.
Right.
So-
Yes.
So you've always been on that main highway there?
No. Originally, I started with a small wall in the back of the first building when there was only one building, and I was actually doing Persian miniatures. And
Excuse me,
then,
ma'am, I'm from Philadelphia, and I'm not all that cultured. What are Persian, what is it? What did you just say?
okay, I was doing work that was inspired by Persian miniatures of Islamic angels. Okay. So, and I was doing them in colored pencils, and then I made them 3-dimensional, and they did not sell. Sort of like a hard market to break into in some areas, and this was not it. But nevertheless, that got me juried into Crossroads, and I wasn't selling. And my husband was saying, maybe you need to think about not doing this because you're putting money in every month and you're not making any money.
Is
I'm
your
like,
husband a creative?
in some ways, yes, but he did not get it. So what I did instead was I expanded to a second wall, and he almost had a heart attack.
Well, yes, because you weren't selling on the first one.
Right, but I needed more room. So then I could expand my repertoire, which then started to be paintings of Islamic angels and then scenes from the Middle East. Again, it didn't sell too much. But then a lady came by and she kind of broke the ceiling by buying 3 of my paintings. And
So wait, can I ask you a question?
sure,
So when she
It's your
brought
show.
Yeah, well, thanks, I appreciate it. It's my show. When they brought 3 paintings, how long did it take for you to tell your husband, look at this?
about a hot minute.
And you knew you had something at that point?
I did. I always knew I had something. I just needed to convince other people. Yeah, you got to believe in yourself, first of all. And I knew I had something, but the other thing was, finding, not just finding your own voice, but finding the thing that you're interested in doing and is still something that might be attractive to the public without just painting for the public. I don't want you, I'm not talking about just painting to be painting to make some money, although that's what we're trying to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Well,
Big show.
so anyway, I did relocate after that to an entire gallery space. So 3 walls and changed out my style a little bit. By that time, I'm doing landscapes, and not just from the Middle East, but other areas. And that's when it really started taking off.
And that's the location where you are now.
No. Try to keep up my.
So what you do, you moved, so you went to that location. What did you do? Move
So-
up to Georgia Reed?
Yeah, moving on up. So then Chuck Larrabee was in a space, and he had this great big gallery space, and he was moving out. And Jenny said, or maybe he did, somebody said, would you like to move in? I said, sure. So this was like double the space, double the money, but double the opportunity to
So that's
create
how you
almost a
saw it.
gallery within, yes, double the opportunity. So I said, sure. And so that's what happened. So that's where you know I am now.
Yeah.
And that's a great spot. I'll never give that up, Jenny.
that's
Just
a
so you
prime
know,
that's
feel
prime
my hot,
location.
dead body before, cold dead body before you give me, anyway, out of there. Maybe hot, I don't know. What?
Yes, that's prime location. You were the main
This is
highway.
coffee. Swear to God. What?
I can imagine when you do like this with something.
Lena was one of the first artists to actually move into building two. She said, you know, we had a few more.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
so,
As soon as I could.
wait,
Okay, so there's a story.
That's teed up for the story.
That's the
So
segue.
Linda says that there were some issues, but people were kind of nervous about building.
Oh, some of the established artists in building one were extremely nervous that that was going to hurt their sales because they were doing very well where they were as things were, and they were concerned that, again, it would dilute the income. And what I said was, that's crazy. When you have a corner that has a gas station, you want more gas stations coming in because that builds up the business. The more art you have, the more people are going to come in. And it's not like you have one pie and, you know, only those people are going to be buying from the pie. We've got lots more room, lots more pies, lots more people to buy the slices. I'm not sure where I'm going with the imagery,
I'm not
but
sure.
you get it.
But I do get it.
Yeah,
And so it's
you
more
create
than
the
that.
opportunity by having more opportunities.
Okay, one of my this is a business show. We may take a long way to get there.
Cooking.
But we're gonna get you there because you know that's clearly how I am. I'm not the most direct, you know, when it comes. Jenny knows that. As she said, she wants class up to jump. One of Mike, we're here at the Hilton. We'd like to thank the folks at the Hilton for hosting us. So, Mike, what are you doing exciting, and drop the socials on people so they can find you.
They can find me at Crossroads Art Center. That's where I'm at.
But in the back, where the magic happens.
Studio 3
In the third building.
in the third building, building 3.
So you were in the building and you were on the left-hand side, right?
Yes,
That's where you took me to. I
Yep.
know there was a lot of, you know, stuff going on back.
still there. After 10 and a half years now.
So there's some projects back there that are not completed.
There's a lot of projects back there that are uncompleted. You haven't seen the
He's
shop
one of
out
them.
back yet.
So, what, how do you know what to turn, like, what to start?
Yes,
That's right, this is an investigative journalism.
right.
We get right to it, yes. That's what it is. All right, so one of Mike, ESPN Richmond, we're getting ready to turn it over to Women's Teachers Sports. We got my man Kelvin Oliver in the house. For Morning, he's one of the sponsors of the show. Steph B, the Brooklyn Betty with the business breakdown is here with us. We just trying to see our expert Dr. Danny runs the Women's Business Resource Center over here. And she's newly back from Durango, Mexico. Oh, and that's right, Mr. Green is here too. He put some additional letters behind that name, that MBA. Boy, this folks, I gotta sharpen my pencil a little bit. All right, so one of Mike, we gotta go. All right, so one of Mike, thank you for tuning in. Oh, wait a second. Give us the details on what's happening this week. It's the
This
20th
weekend?
That one Friday, it's the 20th
Okay.
anniversary.
Right, so normally our hours are from 10 to 5. We'll just be staying open. The official hours for our openings are 6 to 9. In addition to having all the artists bringing in new work and spiffing up, and a lot of the artists will be there to meet people when they come in. We'll also be having a birthday cake, and of course, we're going to be providing drinks through William Fox. And Jonathan the Juggler, chalk art for the kids, the poster of the fox that Jenny has bought that's like count by number, fill in the blank kind of stuff. And And then all the special shows, Dwayne Kreger has his show, as well as David Tanner and I have 3 separate shows.
All right, and how can people drop their socials on
Say it again.
your social media?
Oh, I'm on Facebook and Instagram
I know
and
you are. Can
Twitter.
you tell people where they can find you?
Me? I'm not like this is my Crossroads Art Center.
You want to tell them where I am? I'm right here.
Well, we were talking about Crossroads and you
Yeah.
switched. Okay, all right, so me. I am on Instagram. Okay, I'm on Instagram under Linda Howell.
Understand people like me.
I expect clear and concise directions.
Ma'am, you are talking to the wrong person. Ma'am.
I had to figure out how to teach it to 5-year-olds, so you know, that's all I know. Okay, so I'm in Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, Linda Hollett Bazuzzi, hyphenated. And of course, Crossroads is everywhere.
Yes.
Crossroads Art Center.
Who does your social media? Your social media game.
Oh, man. Emma, and
Oh,
Olivia,
really?
doesn't Olivia and Emma? Yeah. They are crazy. They are just
Yeah.
crazy busy.
You know what I was saying? Well, that teacher got a strong social media game. No.
Me?
Them.
No, they do the work. I can barely keep my own self together, and I don't do such a great job of that. I can tell other people how to do it, but they're the ones that have the social media. I'm incredible.
Mike, as I say, you bring in the best and brand. We gotta go, as I always say, the microphone ain't free, plus my grandkids do need stuff. So, we'll
Mike,
talk to you
you have,
soon.
did
Mike,
you?
Mike, you gave us your socials, right?
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, this, that, and the other. I do want to say one thing to Jenny and James, that congratulations. And you guys have made me a better artist. You've given me a place to play and to work, and thank you.
It is, as I said, it is something that they've created there. When people, and you're in business, people try and go for the wow factor, but you also want to work on sustainability. You guys have done both of them. Everybody comes to the place, they get the same feeling. They walked into something that's magical. They walked into a family situation. It is the community place that people like to rock with. So, and as I said, I rock with Jenni because she believed in me before I got to be Mike King business. So that's no.
Yeah.
No, well, thank you, Dr. Jenni. Well, Mike, you gotta run. You gotta break away from women's speaking sports. Thanks, Dr.
Okay. Still haven't told me what that piece of tape was for.
I don't know.
It was to hold the mic.
Hey, what's
It was, I thought it was.
You know, like the biggest thing when the first thing that happened when I met her, we were up, my partner Adele, were up there looking for space. And she came up to me and she looked at me. She says, "You're Mike Hill. I've heard of you. And you're from the South Side." I said, "Yeah." She said, "How did you get here?" I said, "I crossed over the bridge at Valhalla." She says, "They didn't stop you at the border? Keeping me on the South Side."
And you knew you were home.
I was. I really did.
Mike,
She
thank
said
you.
that, it was over.
All right, you take a check. Thank you. Take care. Hey, wait. First, let's get this picture.
Oh.
Everybody get up behind us. Honey, you get up front. On this side. On this side.